Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari. Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Srivasari Gaura Bhaktivedanta. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadada Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivedanta. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Rama Rama Rama. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Jaya Pada Jaya Prabhupada Prabhupada Srila Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Svatara Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai Jai Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Svatara Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnavavrinda ki Jai Namacharya Śrīla Haridas Thakur ki Jai Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai Jai Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories Shri Guru Gauranga Śrīla Prabhupada ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today morning we're reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 22, entitled Bali Maharaj Surrenders His Life, and text 28. Esha Dhanava Daityanam Agrani Kirtivardhana Ajay Shridajayam Mayam Siddhan Apina Muyyati. Esha Dhanava Daityanam Agrani Kirtivardhana Ajay Shridajayam Mayam Siddhan Apina Muyyati. Esha Dhanava Daityanam Agrani Kirtivardhana Ajay Shridajayam Mayam Siddhan Apina Muyyati. Esha Dhanava Daityanam Agrani Kirtivardhana Ajay Shridajayam Mayam Siddhan Apina Muyyati. Esha Dhanava Daityanam Agrani Kirtivardhana Ajay Shridajayam Mayam Siddhan Apina Muhyati. Esha Dhanava Daityanam Agrani Kirtivardhana Ajay Shridajayam Mayam Siddhan Apina Muhyati. Madajis. Esha Dhanava Daityanam Agrani Kirtivardhana Ajay Shridajayam Mayam Siddhan Apina Muhyati. Esha Dhanava Daityanam Agrani Kirtivardhana Ajay Shridajayam Mayam Siddhan Apina Muhyati. What meaning? Esha, this Bali Maharaj, Dhanava Daityanam, among the demons and non-believers, Agrani, the foremost devotee, Kirti Vardhanaha, the most famous, Ajayashit has already surpassed Ajayam, the insurmountable Mayam, material energy. Siddhan, being bereft of all material opulences. Api, although, na, not. Muyati is bewildered. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki Jai. Translation. Bali Maharaja has become the most famous among the demons and non-believers. For in spite of being bereft of all material opulences, he is fixed in his devotional service. Purport. In this verse, the words Siddhan Apina Muyati are very important. A devotee is sometimes put into adversity while executing devotional service. In adversity, everyone laments and becomes aggrieved, but by the grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, a devotee, even in the worst condition, can understand that he is going through a severe examination by the Personality of Godhead. Bali Maharaja passed all such examinations as explained in the following verses. Text 29:30. Shina riktascha yutta sthanat shipto badascha satrubhi natibhi sha parityakto yathanam anuyapitaha guruna barshitaha sapto jaho satyam na suvrataha chaler uktamayam dharmo nayam tyajati satyavak. Translation. Although bereft of his riches, fallen from his original position, defeated and arrested by his enemies, rebuked and deserted by his relatives and friends, although suffering the pain of being bound, and although rebuked and cursed by his spiritual master, Bali Maharaj, being fixed in his vow, did not give up his truthfulness. It was certainly with pretension that I spoke about religious principles, but he did not give up religious principles, for he is true to his words. Purport. Bali Maharaj passed the severe test put before him by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is further proof of the Lord's mercy towards his devotee. The Supreme Personality of Godhead sometimes puts a devotee to severe tests that are almost unbearable. One could hardly even live under the conditions forced upon Bali Maharaj. That Bali Maharaj endured all these severe tests and austerities is the mercy of the Supreme Lord. The Lord certainly appreciates the devotee's forbearance, and it is recorded for the future glorification of the devotee. This was not an ordinary test. As described in this verse, hardly anyone could survive such a test. But for the future glorification of Bali Maharaja, one of the Mahajanas, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not only tested him but also gave him the strength to tolerate such adversity. The Lord is so kind to his devotee that when severe testing him, the Lord gives him the necessary strength to be tolerant and continue to remain a glorious devotee. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Shalakya Sakshur Unmilitamena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sagitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitam Sha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Shri Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sudadevi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhevicha Paditanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutle Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namale Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharne Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Desitane Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Seeking the blessings of all assembled Vaishnavas. We're going to see Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, discuss for my own purification. Esha Dhanava Daityanam Agrani Kriti Vardhanaha Ajashit Ajayam Mayam Siddhan Apina Muyati. Siddhan Apina Muyati, very important. So Prabhupada starts with that. One being bereft of all material opulences and is not bewildered. A devotee is sometimes put into adversity while executing devotional service. Okay. So this is Bali Maharaj. Bali Maharaj was determined to give his promise, keep up his promise, in spite of so many people not to do that. He says that his fear of defamation or his fear of not keeping the word or the promise is actually more bothering for him. So he wanted to keep the promise at any cost. So even you see in this verse, Lord Brahma comes, Prahlad Maharaj comes, his wife comes, everyone speaks to the Lord. He is actually very determined in order to serve the Lord or keep up the promise. So he offers, he surrenders. Bali Maharaj surrenders his life. So this is, you could see that this is probably the goal of a devotee in a devotee life, that one should surrender to Krishna. And eventually one will surrender to Krishna. There is no doubt about it. And Krishna makes sure that he surrenders fully. So Prabhupada always gives the example of the special mercy of Krishna. The special mercy of Krishna is that Krishna will take everything from you. So always Prabhupada quotes this verse, and if you read Lilamrit, time and again, Prabhupada referred to his own life as well, that how Krishna has taken away everything from him. His business, his work, and his company. So first is he will take everything, and then second is he will take everyone. So Prabhupada says that yes, Krishna took everything from me, and then he also left the family was not very conducive, and he has to move on. So here, so a devotee is put into test. So, what was Bali Maharaj's attitude? So that makes a devotee's advancement. So this is we see in the writings of Rupa Goswami, in the book of Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu and Upadeshamrita, in the introduction of both the books, which are the law books of devotional service, which is the guidelines of any sadhaka. We are all performing sadhana bhakti. So the 64 principles and all these guidelines are given in this great literature, the works of the Goswamis. In that very specific, Rupa Goswami writes that one's mental state or the attitude actually help one to advance in bhakti. Even Prabhupada in Srila Rupa Goswami writes that even one can be a great preacher or a great devotee, but one should remain humble. One should remain humble in the execution of devotional service. And in Upadeshamrita also, Prabhupada expands that one's mood of servant of the servant, the attitude of a servant, subordination to the Supreme Lord, makes one's devotional progress very easy, which is usually the opposite in the material world, that everyone would like to be addressed as master, wants to lord over the material nature, wants to be master. So that attitude has to be given up. So here, Bali Maharaj embraced the situation, embraced the will of the Lord with the whole his heart actually. A devotee is sometimes put into adversity while executing devotional service. If you really see, every day, every moment is actually the test in the life of a devotee. It's not sometime we are all the time actually encountering some kind of obstacle in our devotional service. Right? So here Bali Maharaj surrenders. So we can see in this in this verse, Agrani Kirti Vardanaha, okay, Ajaishit Ajayam Mayam. So he has surpassed of what? He has surpassed Ajayam Mayam. That means Ajayam, the insurmountable material energy. He has surpassed that which is not easy to cross over. How is it possible? Bali Maharaj surrenders his life. That means he has completely surrendered himself to Krishna. So we see that from Bhagavad Gita, Devi Esha Gunamayi Mamamaya Duratteya Mam Evai Prapadyante Mayam Etam Tarantite. This divine energy of mine is actually impossible to overcome. Right? Because Maya always works overtime in the life of a devotee. Right? The one who is trying to escape the jail will have more eyes on him than one who is comfortable in the jail. So when a devotee takes up to Krishna consciousness, then he will go through all the trials. That's usually the life cycle of a devotee. First 2 years is the honeymoon time, where everything is nice and good, whatever we see is colorful, and we experience the bliss of Krishna consciousness, and it's just all the butterfly moments in the life of a devotee, isn't it? So we can see that in the devotional service, characteristics of devotional service. Kleshagni and Subhada. Kleshagni especially. It is the most refreshing that when one takes to Krishna consciousness is exactly like coming from a hot summer, hot day into an AC room. Right? When it is really hot and humid and you are sweating and everything, and then you enter into an AC room, you get a quick relief. You feel it, you experience it. I was like, oh my God, this is so relieving. Similarly, in a life of a devotee, when he has come into the spiritual, he is enthusiastic, he is embracing, and he feels that everyone is so nice and advanced, happy moments. Then comes, most of us will try to see the like when you see a moon, full moon, a Purnima, right? When you see the full moon, when you see immediately you feel like, wow, it's so nice, it's so beautiful. After spending 5 minutes or like few minutes watching the moon, you'll start to notice the black spots in the moon. Even though you are appreciating the moon so much, sooner or later you will notice the black spots and black dots and the clouds covering the moon. Similarly, we get carried away. Similarly, after sometimes then you started seeing, oh, there is this problem. Oh, that is that problem. Oh, this devotee told me like this. He chastised me. He corrected me. Right? He did that. This is not good. The system is not good. Temple is this problem, that problem. So many things. But then, those who stay, right, rise above all this problem. That is nothing but one's reflection of one's own anarthas, if you really see. The process is working, right? When the process starts working, we'll start noticing our own anarthas. And then that's a good sign. That is a good sign because in order to find a solution, the first step is you need to know what is the problem. If you don't know what is the problem, then it's very difficult to find a solution. So the first step is when we start finding something which is coming up in surface, we should be very grateful to Krishna. So here we can see Bali Maharaj is saying all this, whatever problem, whatever obstacle, I understand this is nothing but a severe examination. Krishna is testing. So Krishna is testing. So we don't want, we are not in the situation where we could pray like Kunti Maharani. Okay, Krishna, I know you are there and I am facing a lot of problem. So give me more problem. Right? At least for me, I can speak that whatever is there is enough. That's enough to keep me going. And Krishna is merciful actually. Every devotee will notice that if you are here for some time in this movement. the time when you become proud, the time when you become little bit off the hook, Krishna will give you a little tap on the shoulder, He will make you think straight. He will fix you. Right? All we want to know is how we are able to cross over or continue our devotional service. We don't want to give up devotional service. This is a vow of every devotee. At the time of initiation, we take a vow. I will be chanting, I will be remaining within ISKCON, I will follow 4 regulative principles. Right? We take the vow. We try to serve. But then, it's not that, after we take up Krishna consciousness or initiation something, the whole thing changes. No. Same thing is going to be there, but how we are able to continue to serve Krishna. One should not give up chanting. One should not give in for material things and give up our spirituality. Right? Hardly anyone outside, if you speak about, hardly anyone going to appreciate what we are doing. Apart from devotees, everyone thinks this is waste of time. Yeah, absolutely waste of time. And why you are doing, just do the material, go for material desire, fulfill your material desire, work on that. Right? This is nothing but same material energy also giving us, alluring. But how a devotee is saying no to Maya, no to this, and then continuing. So that makes a devotee shine, or makes a devotee focus or spotlight by Krishna. So here Prabhupada writes that severe examination by the personality of Godhead. Bali Maharaj passed all such examination as explained in the following verse, right? So, first is Bali Maharaj, bereft of all his riches, fallen from his original position, defeated and arrested by his enemies. So, we saw in the previous verses and everything, how it is humiliating the way Bali Maharaj was arrested, the way the Bali Maharaj was presented before Vamanadev is very humiliating. He was tied up, he was on the knees, and everything was removed, like all the wealth and riches, rebuked and deserted by his relatives and friends. Although suffering the pain of being bound, and although rebuked and cursed by his spiritual master. The spiritual master warned him that this is not an ordinary person, this is Vishnu. But what Bali did? Bali wanted to serve the Lord, so he gave up on his spiritual master. Bali Maharaj, being fixed in his vow, he said, I am going to give you 3 steps. This is my word. Did not give up his truthfulness. He was certainly with pretension that I spoke about religious principles, but he did not give up religious principle, for he is true to his words. So this is another quality of a great personality. Non-hypocritical or true to his word. So this line is, Bali Maharaj passed the severe test but put before him by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is further proof of Lord's mercy towards his devotee. So, Krishna giving all things and Krishna taking all things, both are 2 sides of the same coin, which is Krishna's mercy. What makes a devotee to remain and to be a better devotee or a good devotee, that only Krishna knows, because Krishna says personally he comes and takes charge of the life of a devotee. Right? So we may not know the whole picture of what's there in the devotee life, right? When we know that we are in a particular position, and whatever happened backward, if you see, we understand that's all Krishna's mercy, otherwise I would have not been Krishna consciousness. Something would have taken, some choice we have chose, or something we have done in our life. So that's why we are in this position, that today we are able to perform Krishna consciousness. So that's basically the mercy of Lord Krishna, right? So many people would have come into Krishna consciousness as an accident. It was not planned. I didn't come to Australia to take up Krishna consciousness. I came to study, or I came to work, or I just a tourist. I just came by, I just passed the temple. But then Krishna had a different plan. So Supreme Personality of Godhead sometimes put a devotee to severe tests that are almost unbearable. So this is closely matches with the life of Srila Prabhupada actually. One can hardly even live under the condition forced upon Bali Maharaj. That Bali Maharaj endured all these severe tests and austerities is the mercy of the Supreme Lord. So here in the Prabhupada writes, along with the obstacles, along with the adversity, Krishna also gives the quality of tolerance. Krishna also gives the quality of strength to continue the process. Why would Krishna does that? Why would Krishna do that? So sometimes when you go to buy gold or gems or stones or something, they actually polish the stone and the gold and they put it in India we see, they put it in a pink color wrap or a paper, a pink color paper, and then they show the gold ornaments. So generally when you see it's good, but then when you see in that pink color paper, it shines and it just glitters. So that enhances the gold in the eyes of the buyer. So these obstacles and difficulties are there in life of all the great devotees. You take any devotee life, you take the life of Pandavas, you take the life of any Goswamis, you take the life of Acharyas, and even to the fact Srila Prabhupada. There are a lot of adversities and setbacks and obstacles, right? But then how that devotee actually overcome and came out very glorious, that makes the devotee very special. And then Krishna uses his devotee as an instrument to convey the message that irrespective of all the difficulties, irrespective of all the obstacles and whatever setbacks or adversity, for my devotee I am the only refuge, right? And for me, my devotees are the dearest people. So that becomes more and more sweet in terms of relationship, right? That even in this material world, you see, when you have everything, right? When you have everything, then like you have a lot of wealth or money, in no matter you will have lot of relations coming up in your life. Right? But what touches your heart is when you don't have anything and when you don't have anyone, and if someone is showing a lot of concern and care for your welfare with no interest, selfless, unconditional, and a genuine care, that touches your heart, right? So we can see that the material relationship is just nothing but a perverted reflection of what relationship we have with Krishna. So when you have everything, right, and then showing the symptom or qualities, it's not it is not focused, right? Like for example, if Bali Maharaj got the whole three world, he is the king of all the universe, and he achieved great feat, and then he is surrendering to the Lord, right? Which may feel okay, he has everything, and then he is surrendering. But then look at this condition where he has taken out everything. He doesn't have anything now. Right? He don't have any family or wealth, and then he is humiliated, he is been punished, and then you ask that person, okay, tell me. So usually we say, why you are doing this? I've given everything, I've gave everything to you, whatever promise, but why you are making my life more difficult? In our personal life also sometimes we think, I've given up, whatever I used to like in my life. I've gone against my family because I'm taking Krishna consciousness. I left all my material friends. I've changed my job to suit my spiritual life. But still, Krishna, why you're making so difficult for my life? That's what we see. Oh, so difficult, so it's not easy. How much to do? So then we should understand that there are a lot of anarthas in our heart which we need to work. So Krishna is actually helping us in a way. So that solely and exclusively worship to Krishna. Right? Anya abhilashita shunyam jnana karmadi anavritam anukulyenana krishnanu silanam bhaktir uttama. Right? Like uninterrupted, unmotivated, free from all kinds of karma, jnana, yoga, everything, and favorable, loving devotional service to Krishna. That is the topmost bhakti. Right? So, when we are in the path of bhakti, we should know, okay, there is the topmost level. That one is fully dependent on Krishna. Right? Which is the topmost level of the pure devotee. How the pure devotee stands out. What makes a pure devotee is like separate from rest of the devotional aspirants. Right? They are fully dedicated in depending upon Krishna and serving Krishna. So the Lord certainly appreciates the devotee forbearance, and it is recorded for the future glorification of the devotee. So this was not an ordinary test. As described in this verse, hardly anyone could survive such a test. But for the future glorification of Bali Maharaj, one of the Mahajanas, the Supreme Personality of Godhead not only tested him but also gave him the strength to tolerate such adversity. So this is another great mercy of Krishna. That when a devotee is tolerating, or when a devotee is going through some difficulty, and when he is dependent on Krishna, right? He is not thinking, okay, this is just a, what do you call, it's my mistake, or I can fix this, let me try to adjust things. The devotee is always thinking, okay, this is the mercy of Krishna. So this is a very high level actually. We can speak theoretically about this aspect, but when it comes in the time of test, everyone has to fly their own aeroplane. So it becomes very personal actually. When the obstacle is put in front of the devotee, and when the devotee chooses Krishna, right? It's that internal satisfaction and peace and that connection with Krishna. That's what matters for the devotee. More than anything, what the external implication or consequences will be, what others will think, what my friends and family will think, right? What my image in the society, what is my status. So these are all not taken into consideration. How he is able to remember Krishna, how he is able to think about Krishna, how he is able to continue to perform his devotional service. That basically the watering the relationship with Krishna. The more we do, the more we chose Krishna, the more we able to connect with Krishna at the most difficult situation, we are basically nourishing our relationship with Krishna. Right? And then Krishna gives more strength, and then Krishna gives more tolerance to continue to serve him. So that becomes very subjective, very personal, and becomes a memorable thing in the life of a devotee. Memorable thing in the life of a devotee, right? So, and then able to appreciate the hand of Krishna. Then he becomes more grateful towards Krishna. So if someone can able to remember Krishna at the time of adversity, right? It's basically one should thank Krishna, because it's not that, we can remember things at our will. Knowledge, remembrance and forgetfulness comes from Krishna. If you can able to remember certain things at a certain time, then you should be able to grateful to Krishna. If you can able to forget certain things, right, then also you should be grateful to Krishna, because otherwise you cannot perform bhakti. If you can able to remember all your material deeds and activities, right, all your worst decisions in life, right, you can't able to perform devotional service, you will be like depressed. The Lord is so kind to his devotee that when severely testing him, the Lord gives him the necessary strength to be tolerant and continue to remain a glorious devotee. So this is our meditation for today, that obstacle is going to come, difficulties is going to come. If not now, it's just around the corner. So you don't have to worry. We are in this material world where we are in this ocean. We are going to get wet. But we should be praying that we can able to remember Krishna and take shelter of Krishna. That is the most important thing, that we can able to remember Krishna and take shelter of Krishna during our adversity. Okay? So we'll stop here. Thank you very much for everyone. This still remains theoretical in my life. So let us pray to the deities and Prabhupada that we can able to remember Krishna during the obstacle in our life. Hare Krishna. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.